Hey folks, this is Rhykker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. And this week's video will be a Diablo spectacular, coming to you a day earlier than usual because there's been so much Diablo news. In this video, we'll talk about the Blizzcon floor plan, possibly hiding a secret Diablo area. We'll talk about Blizzard basically confirming Diablo 4, but also confirming that Diablo 4 will not be revealed this BlizzCon. We'll talk about the awesome Diablo prop weapons that Blizzard is giving away, and more. And as we dive in, be sure to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted of new episodes. So let's start with the infamous blog post. Now, a lot of people in the community are pretty disappointed by this blog post that went up this week, in which the Diablo team is basically telling us to cool our expectations, and that Diablo 4, without saying Diablo 4 ever anywhere, probably won't be revealed this BlizzCon. But let's take a look at the post ourselves here. To selectively quote from it, BlizzCon 2018 is almost here, and we've seen a lot of rumors flying around about our plans for Diablo at this show. These are very exciting times. We currently have multiple teams working on different Diablo projects, and we can't wait to tell you all about them when the time is right. We know what many of you are hoping for, and we can only say that good things will come to those who wait, but evil things often take longer. While we won't be ready to announce all of our projects, we do intend to share some Diablo-related news with you at the show. So this confirms no Diablo 4 revealed at BlizzCon. This isn't a huge surprise, like I've been saying for the past several weeks. While I was hoping for a Diablo 4 reveal, it definitely was not a guarantee. We're guaranteed some kind of an announcement, but now we know for sure that it won't be Diablo 4. However, we do have confirmation that there are multiple teams working on different Diablo projects. We previously just knew that there were multiple Diablo projects in the works, but now we also know that multiple teams are involved. So within Blizzard, the team division has historically been based mostly on game franchise. The internal name for the Diablo team, for instance, is Team 3. Team 1 is the strategy game team, who currently is handling StarCraft 2 and Heroes of the Storm, which was born out of a StarCraft 2 mod. Team 2 is the World of Warcraft team, Team 4 is the Overwatch team, Team 5 is the Hearthstone team, and then we also have the Classic Games team, where Blizzard games go to retire, as well as be remastered. It's a Classic Games team that did the StarCraft remaster, and they're currently maintaining Diablo 2, for instance. And I highly suspect they're also currently maintaining Diablo 3, because when they revealed the Diablo 3 Switch port, it was the lead Classic Games team member who was there as a spokesperson. So why have Classic Games representing Diablo 3, if not to imply that Diablo 3 has gone to Classic Games, and the Diablo team, Team 3, is working on Diablo 4 and possibly other projects. So now that we know that there are multiple teams working on Diablo projects, we have even more proof that maybe we're getting a remaster. Maybe the Classic Games team is remastering Diablo 1 or 2. And who knows if there may be even other teams or divisions within teams at play here. For instance, there's a rumor going around, and it's really just a rumor, that there's some external team outside of Blizzard working on a Diablo mobile game. You saw this happen with Fallout 4, for instance. Before Fallout 4 released, you had Fallout Shelter, a mobile game released that was not created by Bethesda, the creators of Fallout 4. It was outsourced to Behavior Interactive. But again, the Diablo mobile game is just a rumor. I'll try to dig up some proper info on that. If I get anything concrete, I'll bring that news to you. For now, you can just pretend you didn't even hear it. But really, the biggest news from this blog post comes from this line. We know what many of you are hoping for, and we can only say that good things come to those who wait. Now, I'm pretty sure that it was community manager Brandy Camel that wrote up this post, and she can mean nothing other than Diablo 4 by this. We know what many of you are hoping for. The single most hyped thing in the Diablo universe right now is Diablo 4. And this is as close as Brandy can possibly come to confirming that Diablo 4 is a project in the works without actually announcing the game. So at this point, if there were any doubters that remained about Diablo 4 being a project that's coming, we now have 99% confirmation that Diablo 4 is real and is coming, just not yet. Now, does it suck that Diablo 4 won't be revealed this BlizzCon? Sure, but I'm still looking forward to what announcement we will get. Because again, the post said, while we won't be ready to announce all of our projects, we do intend to share some Diablo-related news with you at the show. So I'm expecting at least one new project to be revealed. I don't think they'll just talk about Diablo 3 on Switch. And now that we know it won't be Diablo 4, I think the odds of a Diablo 1 or 2 remaster have increased. Again, nothing is certain, and we have plenty of reasons to doubt it being a remaster. But an added little bit of information here that points us in the direction of a possible remaster is the fact that the creator of the Curse of Tristram, a remake of Diablo 2 using StarCraft 2's modding tools, has changed direction this summer. Now, the Curse of Tristram is a project that has been in the works since the year 2010, and it's been amazing to see the progress that the developer has made over the years, how far his project has come, how much it has accomplished, and particularly so in the last couple of years. So for nearly a decade, this dev has been bringing his project to life. And then suddenly, in August of this year, he reveals that he's going to take what he's made and take it in a different direction than a Diablo 2 remake. So imagine that. Imagine spending 8 years of your life working away at something. Imagine how much passion you would have to pour into this. And then just as the project is reaching its greatest success and exposure, imagine suddenly deciding to change course. That's not an easy decision to make. And it begs the question, was this decision at all based on something Blizzard told him? For instance, if he knew that Blizzard would release a Diablo 2 remake or remaster before he would finish his project, would he stay the course or change direction? Or if Blizzard wanted to make a Diablo 2 remake or remaster, would they let this fan creation continue on? Think about what happened to that famous vanilla World of Warcraft server. It was around for years and Blizzard didn't say anything until they finally shut them down, only to shortly thereafter reveal that they want to bring back their own vanilla servers. But that's just speculation. Going back to the blog post and people's reactions to the blog post, I know a lot of people are really disappointed, and I think people were just too firmly of the belief that we were going to get Diablo 4 revealed this BlizzCon. And I think we just hyped ourselves up a little bit too much, and I think if we go back to that first video that Brandy made, I think the writing is pretty clearly there, and we were just too blinded by hype to see it. Here's the line.
We have multiple Diablo projects in the works. Some of them are going to take longer than others. But we may have some things to show you later this year. Some of them are going to take longer than others. Some of them are going to take longer than others.
Some of them are going to take longer.
In retrospect, knowing what we know today, doesn't she spell it out pretty clearly then? By saying some will take longer than others, what else could she have been referring to? She was saying Diablo 4 would take longer than others, right? Because if they revealed Diablo 4 at BlizzCon, no one would even have cared that there were other Diablo projects coming. Because everyone would have been happy, and Brandy wouldn't have had to put out a message saying that there will be other Diablo projects coming. But if Blizzard knew from back then that they weren't going to be revealing Diablo 4 at BlizzCon, then it makes perfect sense for them to tell us in advance some projects will come later than others. Was there some miscommunication, some misunderstanding? Probably yes. But it's certainly difficult for someone to give a message and for others to understand a message when we're discussing things that we're not allowed to discuss, when we're referring to things that we can't mention by name. There's always bound to be misunderstandings, unfortunately. It's not like we didn't have some proof to suggest that Diablo 4 wouldn't be ready to reveal. It was just 3 weeks ago or so that the creative director position for the unannounced Diablo project finally went down. That's a pretty important role on the team. So if they still haven't settled on major creative decisions, possibly even including the title or subtitle, then it kind of makes sense that they're not ready to reveal yet this BlizzCon. Of course, because there's multiple Diablo projects, who knows if that creative director position was for a different project and not Diablo 4. But we're just a couple more weeks away from BlizzCon, so we're gonna get all our answers, or, well, some of our answers pretty soon. Now, speaking of job positions, this week, Alan Dabiri, the game director of Heroes of the Storm, announced his departure from the Heroes of the Storm team to work on an unspecified project at Blizzard. To selectively quote from his blog post, "I want to let everyone know that a few months ago, I accepted an opportunity to transition off my role as Heroes game director to heed Blizzard's call and begin a new adventure elsewhere within the company. Now, it was some months ago that the game director position for the unannounced Diablo project went down. So is it possible that Alan Dabiri took this role? Some people think this is the case, but we must note that while he has been with Blizzard since the 90s, I don't believe he's ever worked on anything Diablo related. And no, Johanna being his favorite hero, it doesn't count. So he could very well be on some other secret project. In other Diablo news, the Diablo 3 Nintendo Switch bundle was revealed, and I regret buying my Nintendo Switch already, because this includes a Diablo 3 themed Nintendo Switch, a Diablo 3 themed Switch dock, and carrying case. You got Joy-Con wrist straps, a Joy-Con grip, and a digital download code for Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. In other news, the BlizzCon floor map has been revealed, and there's something very peculiar about it. If we look at the Mythic stage, this is where the opening ceremony takes place. This is the main hall, the main stage. Now, historically, we've never seen anything else going on there. No demo stations for anything. It was just a main hall. So it is unusual to see a demo station here, and it is a Diablo 3 demo station. Now, the demo station for Diablo 3 is not particularly big, and we have this odd thing connecting to it, the Horadric Retreat. We don't really know what that's about. Altogether, it's not a huge area, but to enter or leave the Mythic stage from the opening ceremony, attendees will have to pass by this Diablo 3 section. In other words, Blizzard is shoving this booth in front of everyone's eyes. This is the primo spot on the show floor, basically. Now, we don't know what the Horadric Retreat is, but Redditor Flack Knight, I believe, theorizes it's a lounge area for people to maybe group up and play Diablo 3 on Switch, but really it can be anything. What's most curious, however, is this empty space to the left. That is a lot of space to take away from the main stage to leave for nothing. So it's possible that Blizzard is hiding something here. Possibly something Diablo related. If you look at the floor plan for BlizzCon 2014, the year that Blizzard revealed Overwatch, you'll see an empty space on the map. And I wondered if that's where they hid the Overwatch demo station. And Redditor Mr. Elian actually tracked down some photos from BlizzCon 2014 showing the Overwatch demo station, and using excellent deduction skills, determined that yes, that empty space was where they hid the demo stations for Overwatch. So again, that empty space on our 2018 map is certainly suspicious, but we do have to say that even if something is hidden there, it's not guaranteed to be Diablo related. That said, again, Diablo does have the #1 what's next spot after the opening ceremony, so I'd say it's more likely to be Diablo related than anything else, but we don't know. In other Diablo news, the Book of Adria, upcoming Diablo lore book, is being delayed. It was supposed to release in October, but now we have the author of the book, Bob Brooks, the author of the book, Bob Brooks, come out on Twitter and say, hey everyone, wanted to update you all on the Book of Adria. Bottom line first, the release date has been pushed back. I don't have an exact ETA yet, but the copies are en route from the printer, and we hope to announce the availability date soon. It will be after BlizzCon. Some good news, we will have the book available at BlizzCon. So if you're at BlizzCon, you can get the book, otherwise you'll have to wait for after BlizzCon. And in other Diablo news, the Diablo team is hosting a treasure hunt giveaway. So let's talk about the giveaway side of things first. Among the prizes up for grabs are copies of the Diablo 3 Eternal Collection Nintendo Switch bundle, digital copies of the game, and various collectible goodies. But the huge prizes here, worth about $2,000 each, you can win real-life prop versions of Diablo 3 legendary items. We're looking at a Kreider Shot, a Flesh Rake, a Scythe of the Cycle, an Oathkeeper, a Wand of Woe, Johanna's Argument, and Sacred Harvester, all crafted by Volpin Props, who has an impressive portfolio. How can you win these? Well, you gotta take part in the treasure hunt. Basically, Blizzard will be hiding QR codes across the internet, and apparently also in some real-life locations. And they'll be slowly rolling out clues on the official Diablo Twitter as to how to find these QR codes. There'll be a total of 12 that you can find, and they've already rolled out 3 of the clues. My understanding of how this works is basically for every clue that you find out of a max of 12, that gives you another entry in this raffle. So you don't have to find all 12, but the more you find, the greater your odds of winning. Sad news for our Euro bros, though, and Asia, and quite a number of places, in fact. The contest is only for those in the US, Canada, and Mexico, and even in the US and Canada, some regions don't apply. That's just for winning the prizes, though. you can still partake in the treasure hunt, you just can't win anything. The treasure hunt will run until November 9th, and maybe toward the end I'll give the solutions to all the puzzles. I don't want to do it just yet. We know the solutions to the first 3 clues that have been given out, but have some fun with it. At least try to get some of them yourself before we give away all the answers. As for our weekly update on Diablo job postings, we have a new posting. Lead Technical Artist. And that's going to wrap up this week's video. But do be sure to have checked out last week's video, where we discuss a leak that possibly pointed towards a Diablo remaster. And if you have a news story you'd like to see me cover in a future video, be sure to post it on our subreddit. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch and Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider becoming a Royal Raider on Patreon, where your support is immensely appreciated. We've got a variety of back rewards, including behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders for more gaming content.